Greetings, folks. Anila Horam here, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving for those of you who observe the holiday. This is a World of Warships replay featuring IOMTT and the Tier 5 Japanese destroyer, the Mutsuki. He is in a domination match on two brothers. He is bottom tier, and he is facing a Tier 7 aircraft carrier. You can also see in his team there is a division comprised of two of my clanmates and myself, but this match, or this replay, is going to be about OAMTT and his destroyer. His commander has very few skill points. He has yet to learn Concealment Expert, so he is working with a surface detection range of 6 kilometers. He's also elected to take Adrenaline Rush over Last Stand. Now, I specifically requested the replay from IOMTT because of how his gameplay influences the outcome of the match for us, and how a bottom tier destroyer with a pretty poor reputation can still have a positive influence on the outcome of a match. There may be some places in the replay that I accelerate things because there isn't a lot of immediate action, and there's going to be a lot of focus on positioning, spotting, and capping. So getting to the gameplay, we can see immediately that the allied team is lemming to Alpha. IOMTT did call out to at least one ship to request support. You can also see that I just pinged on the map requesting that folks support IOMTT in his advance towards Delta. Delta is being taken, so we know there's an opposing destroyer here, and he's being backed up by a Nuremberg, but the only other allied ship coming with him is the Pensacola. Here we detect the opposing Minakaze, and IOMTT makes an interesting choice here to open up with his guns. The Mutsuki is generally regarded as having the worst gun systems of Japanese destroyers, and that's probably saying a lot because the Japanese destroyers, with the exception of the upper tier gunboats, are generally seen as having pretty weak gun systems overall to begin with. But he is making the right choice here to retreat. Frankly, the bigger threat, in my opinion, should be the Nuremberg, because between its German hydro and its high rate of fire, it can be an extremely effective destroyer, hunter, killer. But for whatever reason, he elected either not to fire or at least missed hitting IOMTT and didn't keep up any sustained fire while he was detected. We're going to detect some torpedoes from the opposing Minakaze here in just a moment, but they're going to fall just short of both the Pensacola and IOMTT. And I'm sure this Pensacola player was having a little bit of a heart attack when he saw those come in. So I'm going to accelerate the replay here because over the next couple of minutes, the Allied Pensacola is going to end up taking a torpedo, and between the flooding of that torpedo and the gunfire from the Nuremberg and the Minakaze, we're going to lose the Pensacola, and that's going to leave IOMTT alone on this flank. Okay, so now that the Pensacola has gone down and IOMTT is the only allied ship on this flank, the best thing that he can do at this point is first try to contest the cap if conditions allow, and that's exactly what he's going to do here. Second is to keep things spotted so that he can at least make sure that the allied team is aware of the position of the opposing team's players on this flank. And then lastly, try to offer some area denial with torpedo sends to at least slow the advance of the opposing team on this flank. Now, so far he's only had to contend with the Minakaze and the Nuremberg, but there are going to be a couple other opposing ships that are going to end up showing up on this flank during the battle. So again, I'm going to accelerate the replay here while he gets the cap, and we'll pick things up once he has it. Now that OAMTT has picked up the cap, let's take a look at the tactical situation. Our team is down by 2 ships, and until IOMTT secured Delta, we were only getting points from 1 cap, although the opposing Nuremberg is now going to move into Delta, and we're going to stop getting points from that cap. Now detect the opposing Graf Spee. So now IOMTT is now facing 2 cruisers, both of which have superior hydro. as well as the Minakaze, whom we haven't detected for a little while. And so again, the best thing that he can do here is just fall back, keep things spotted, offer area denial with some torpedo sends, and hope that at some point more members of the Allied team will show up to help him defend this flank. Activated speed boost here to gain some distance from the Nuremberg, but he is going to get detected by planes. He likes to turn on his AA here, which is something I probably would not have done. The AA and the Mutsuki is basically non-existent, and so he has a very low chance of being able to try to shoot down the plane. My opinion would have been better just to keep it turned off. We can see that there are some Allied ships that have meandered back into the Bravo cap. Our team is having a lot of difficulty taking Alpha, even though both teams have, to some extent, lemming to Alpha. Our team does have, or should have, superior forces there, but we're still having a lot of difficulty getting that cap, and we can see that there's at least, 3 ships that have moved back into Bravo, and so they're not really being effective trying to, frankly, work either flank. They kind of taken themselves a little bit out of the game to begin with. We can also see that there was a smoke screen that was dropped by the opposing Minakaze. In fact, there is the Minakaze. So I think the Minakaze was probably trying to provide some smoke cover for his cruisers, so that the cruisers could provide some fire on the Allied ships that are in Bravo, and then the Minakaze would spot. This is, again, where I think it's quite dangerous for IOMTT to be opening up with his guns. He's got 2 cruisers that are backing up this Minakaze. If nothing else, he's at least keeping the opposing cruisers interested in him, so that they aren't continuing to try to press in against the flank towards Bravo. But this Nuremberg is getting some lucky shots in, even though he was in smoke and not detected. Now what's going to happen here over the next couple of minutes is that IOMTT is going to actually work his way around and then start working south so that he can get behind these ships, and that's going to give him a little more flexibility to contest the caps, but also keep things spotted for the Allied team. So again, here I'm going to accelerate the replay as he winds his way around the map and works himself down south. Okay, so now that he's worked his way down south and has gotten into a little more flexible position to keep things spotted and to now recontest the cap. I'm not sure why he dropped smoke here. I don't know if this was an accident or it was diversion, or whether he was thinking he might get a torpedo hit with flooding on the Lyon and then would open up with his guns to try to set a fire. But either way, the smoke was not really needed, and he's now moved into the cap to take this cap. So again, he's done a really good job here. There is not, obviously he hasn't done much damage, he hasn't sunk any ships, but he delayed this flank long enough that our team on the Alpha flank, which originally was struggling a little bit, has now completely overwhelmed the opposing team on the Alpha side. And we have not only broken through, we're now in the Charlie cap. The last of the opposing destroyers, the Minakaze, that was on this flank, is now gone down as well. and IOMTT is now resecured, or is now about to resecure the delta cap for the second time. And this also gives him a lot of flexibility. He doesn't really need to offer any more area denial. We have a huge lead, and we're just about to win on points. So again, he did a really terrific job. Area control, spotting, capping are all crucial to playing the objective and winning the game, which is exactly what he did. And so our hats off to him. You will see from the team score, he got a lot less XP than myself and other members of my division received, and certainly less than we thought he deserved. But we all complimented him for his excellent play and staying focused on the objective. So hats off to IOMTT. So I hope you enjoyed the replay and the commentary. Please do leave your comments below. And as always, we hope to see you out there, and we wish you happy sailing.